Hey yo, BookTube. How's it going? AuthorTube, AnybodyTube. Um, Today is day two, not that, just day two of watching me write a book. Gosh, can you think of anything more interesting than this? I can't. So let's get right to it. Let's open the Scrivener file and just look at what we did yesterday. We got a bunch of stuff in here. A bunch of skeletal remains, I guess. Not a whole lot of actual good info in here yet. So, last night and this morning, I did a little bit of thinking more about the plot. So, what I have here in my Evernote. Oh, you know what? There were a couple questions. Let me just say this. You do not need Evernote. Evernote is something that made my life easier because, and I'm going to do this one of these days, but I have a pile of composition books, like super big, and I would always write my ideas and stuff in them. And then it got to the point where, like, whenever I would go to a coffee shop or something or just go out, I needed to take a giant backpack with like 8 to 10 composition books in it because I wasn't sure which notes were in which book and all that other crap. So, for me, Evernote has been just like a godsend because I could type anything out on my phone and it ends up on my computer. I could type anything up on my computer and it ends up on my phone and everything's fine. So you do not need Evernote. And then for Scrivener, you could get Scrivener at a website called Literature and Latte. But if you want to throw me a couple bucks, you can get it at podcast451.com. That was my old podcast me and Zoe used to do. And there's links all over the page for it. There better still be links all over the page for it. And let me tell you a little life hack when it comes to Scrivener. You can get the Scrivener 30-day trial, okay? And the days only count when you shut the program and then open the program up again, okay? So I had Scrivener for about 2 years before I actually had to pay for it because I just left Scrivener open all the time. Kind of shady, I guess, but if you are a penny pincher and a coupon clipper, you might want to take advantage of that oversight by the people over there. But yeah, it's not at Scrivener.com or anything like that, I don't think. But Literature and Latte is the company that makes it. It's really great. I love it because before this, I was writing books in Word and then having to put it into Calibri, I think is what that thing was called. And I had to actually, like, manufacture how I wanted the ebook to come out. And when I was doing that, I don't know if they had a .mobi, which is the Amazon thing for ebooks. So I think I had to put it into an EPUB and then take that EPUB and open it up in Kindle Previewer, not the Kindle app, but the Kindle Previewer, and then it would turn the EPUB into a Mobi file. So it was a fucking pain in the ass. And but you could compile and make Mobis, EPUBs, PDFs, Word docs, whatever in Scrivener. And it's cool to make Word docs in Scrivener because I have a Mac. And so Zoe has a PC. So when we do edits and stuff, I'll make... My dog must have heard a bird or a car. But anyway, when Zoe edits my stuff, I send her a Word doc of my book through Scrivener. Like, I make it a Word doc, send it to her. She um, does it and sends it back, and I could open up the Word doc in a text document, and then I just copy and paste it and kind of go about my business that way. So anyway, that is how you do those things. So if you have like a notepad and you're only working on one book, then by all means knock it out. I've never been able to just work on one book. I get too many horrible ideas, and I won't admit that they're horrible until I completely flush them out and realize that, oh man, that was a fucking horrible idea. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So anyhow, that's Scrivener, that's Evernote. You don't need either one of these programs to write a book. This is just how I'm doing it. So the other thing about Word, if you use Word, Word puts a lot of hidden HTML coding into your document, and it sometimes could lead to problems when you are compiling and exporting. So that's why I tend not to use that. And when I used to do this for people, like I would take their manuscript and make an ebook version and a print PDF for paperbacks or hardbacks. They would always write it in, I don't know what the hell's going on outside, but they would always write it in like Word. And then when I would like be pulling it over, like there would just be so, like the whole thing, the margins, the indents, like every single thing that you could possibly think of that could go wrong went wrong. And so those were just a pain in the ass. So to make my life easier and make it to where I could just focus on writing, I just use Scrivener because I could do every single thing I need to do in this program. So, with that said, let's move into the what the fuck am I doing bit. So, as you noticed, the only real idea I had here was Hank going to jail. And I thought that was really, really cool. But that's not the plot. That's like it's barely a subplot. It's just what he's doing in the middle of the book. So I did some thinking about it. And the first thing, I'll just copy and paste all this stuff into here. So these are my day 2 notes. Okay, so I decided that the secretary will come in later, and I think that will be around this area somewhere. The secretary will show up, and everything will be amazing. So, yay for that. Also, I type kind of sporadically, and I misspell things all the time. But I usually don't worry about it until I go back to do like a once over on it. Because honestly, I don't really give a shit when I'm just putting the bare bones down. So, she shows up. Yup. She shows up super duper happy and perfect. Hank thinks this is complete bonkers. Maybe even he thinks someone is playing a joke on him. Because she is going to be, like, the best secretary in the history of forever. So, that's that. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Calls the lawyer down the hall. Now, another thing I wanted to add in here. So I'm going to have to put this on one of these. Let me see. Maybe I'll just throw it in here. I think I did this in one of the books already. I'm not sure if I did. But a couple doors down the hall, I want there to be, like, the worst lawyer in the history of the world. Just, like, a super, like, 4-foot tall troll, like, nice guy, but, like, total New York lawyer guy. So, he says hello to the lawyer down the hall. Maybe the lawyer's new in the building or something like that. Maybe I could put that in as, like, a separate thing. So we'll figure that out later. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I decided I wanted to have 3 meetings with the sister, okay? Because if he's going to hook up with her, like, there should be some sort of build-up to that. So, I'll just put it in here. Meets with sister. Meets, with sister for a 3rd time. Why is that not... Okay, there we go. So that way, when him and the sister finally hook up, it's not going to look like insta-love or anything like that. And it's not going to be love. It's going to be, like, purely carnal. But at the same time, like, he shouldn't just be, like, banging chicks for no reason. Okay, so that'll give it a little bit more legitimacy. Okay, the girl killed was a singer in the Mob Guys Club. Now, this might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so the little backstory here, because the sister said her brother was falsely accused and is now in jail awaiting trial, blah, 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 blah. I had to figure out what the fuck that was going to be. So I figured that he was a waiter at this nightclub that's owned by some mob dude, and the girl that he got framed for killing was a singer at the club. So that's going to bring a bunch of shit in here. So, like, for instance, let's see. What does this one say? He finds out he goes to a bar for info. I'm going to kill this, goes to the club for info. Everyone gives him the cold shoulder. Okay. So that's going to make him super curious. So he's got a buddy at the newspaper. He's going to ask what he knows about the case or whatever. And the newspaper guy is going to give him a little bit of info. So let's say he tells Hank that mob guy and singer chick were an item. Hank wants to know if he's got some proof of that, or if it's just a hunch. The newspaper guy pulls out a photo of the two together with the mob guy kissing her on the cheek and looking very happy. Let's all twist our beards. So that puts the mob guy in the fray. Let's say when he goes to the bookie's got to tell him something that's that gives some sort of motive. So let's say bookie tells Hank that he heard there was another man that she was sleeping with, let's say. That's a pretty good reason for a lunatic to kill somebody. Okay. So Hank automatically thinks that the other guy was the brother. Boom. Okay. So that gives him some juice with the sister. And so when he meets with the sister, he's gonna ask if the brother was romantically involved with the singer lady. She gets upset and indignant and something. Hank thinks she's kinda cute in a homely way. Oh, Hank, you're such a lady killer. Okay. So now all that's gone on. The sister hookup has to happen way far away from there. Okay. Now there's some other stuff that I came up with. Let's see. The brother was a waiter. The mob guy don't like snoopers. Oh, I can't wait to do that bit. Okay, so where is that? Okay. The mob guy don't like snoopers. Boom. All right. I actually think what I'm going to do too is maybe he won't be there the first time he goes. Club second time. Let's do that. So we'll have the people at the club kind of push him off because the dude's not there. So here he meets with mob dude. Okay. So that is that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I usually love to have some like weird type of character in my stuff. So, in Dead Dame Walking, there was a hunchback butler. In Dead Dame in a Trunk, there was a guy who had no sense of smell. That's not super crazy. But in this one, I wanted to have a guy with an eye patch because that's pretty hardcore. So the guy with the eye patch is going to be kind of following Hank around. And then let's say... Wait, I put other murder. We're going to say sister's murder. Alright. So I want my eye patch guy. I need 3 bits where the eye patch guy is following him around. So let's say the first time he's at the club, he chases his mind. I saw that last night. I was like, oh my gosh. Changes, you fucker. Okay. That's lady comes into the office, meets the sister at the gym. Okay. Oh, here's the bar. Okay. So here will be the first time he notices eye patch. And we'll just call him Patch, since he's the first fucking guy that actually has a name in this damn book. He notices Patch. Okay, and then maybe when he sees the paper of the guy kissing her on the cheek, in the background of the photo is Patch, and he's looking pretty pissed off. Alright, of course he'll be at the club the second time. And then let's have him like on a bridge. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so he'll run Hank's car. Run Hank's car. Let's say he stops Hank's car. Stops Hank's car on a bridge while Hank is on the way to meet sister. Okay, Patch gets out with a couple of dudes and fucks Hank's shit up. Tells him to lay off the case. Boom. Oh my god, this is getting fucking good, guys. This is exciting. Okay, let's see. I'm getting really excited now. Okay, now this is something we're going to find out way later. So we'll put this down here somewhere. We find out that one of the cops that arrested Hank was actually dating the singer at one point and was in love with her. Boom. Suck it. Okay, what else we got? Okay, so all this shit, maybe this should all be in that same bit that I just did. Yeah, maybe. We'll see about that. Okay, and then what else we got? Oh, wait, no, we got to do this. So, spoiler alert, the cop is the one that killed the girl. Okay, so secretary dies. She's the body on the floor, so... Wakes up, finds the secretary dead. Oh, I already wrote dead. Okay. Um, okay. Let's think of some names for some people because I'm having a hard time keeping all this shit together. Okay. Sister dies at the house. Hank's the one that finds her. Do I have that on here? Oh, sister's murder. Okay. At the house, Hank finds her body. Maybe this is right after they do the nasty. I think it will be. Right after they do the Bone Thug. All right. I'll know what Bone Thug means. It's okay. All right, so let's go to my notes here. Let's start coming up with some names here. So, who are the characters we have here? We have the sister, the brother. Oh, actually, let me do this because that's going to drive me crazy. All right, so we have the sister, the brother, the singer, the mob guy, the newspaper guy. I think I'm going to use the newspaper guy from Dead Dame Walking. So I'll probably throw that in there. The bookie. Oh, Cop 1. Cop 1's the bad guy. Cop 2, I was going to have it be like some City Hall guy, but in the last book, I had something with a senator, so I don't want to go down that road anymore. Cop 1, Cop 2. Oh, the lawyer. Got to name him. And then we got the guy with the eye patch. His name is Patch. Just like on Days of Our Lives, baby. Oh. Okay. And then he's going to have to meet a bunch of dudes in jail. So there's going to be the Peckerwoods. And we're going to need a shot caller. Right-hand man. Shit like that. Maybe a house mouse. And we'll just leave that at that. We're probably going to need some guards. So, ooh, that didn't look right. So we'll have to come up with a couple of them. Let's say 3 guards. Sounds about right. Okay, and then let me see, what else do we have here? A judge. I have a judge in another one. I'll bring him back. Oh, and the secretary. How can I forget her? Secretary. Ooh, that didn't come out right. How did I fuck that up? There we go. Kaplow. Okay, so the secretary. Miss Helen Mason. That sounds pretty. The lawyer. I'll come back to that. The bookie. Let me see. Small Billy. That's as good a name as any. We'll say he has a club foot or something. That's kind of fun. The newspaper guy, I think, is Ron. I'll have to look. I could look right now. Kaplowy. Kaplooey. The dinner party. Okay. So if you haven't read this, this might ruin some bit of it. Ron. What's his last name? Outlines. Ron Sampson. Okay. So, Ron Sampson. It's really cool to bring some characters back because I really, really like a lot of the characters I've been making in these stories. Okay, so let's see. Mob Guy. I hope this video isn't super long. Probably already is. Mob Guy, singer. Okay, we'll call her Julie something. The brother, let's call him Clint. Oh wait, the last name has to kind of work here too. Her name could be Candy Jones. Oh, that sounds so strippery. Okay, Candy's a bad. Let's say Cassie Jones. Clint Jones. That all works. I'm good with it. Julie. Julie Gardner. Boom. Okay, Mob Guy. I gotta come up with a really cool Mob Guy name. Like, hey, I'll name him after a friend in elementary school. Joe Pichot. I don't know if that's how you would spell that. Joe Pichot. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that looks good, buddy. Joe Pichot. Now I'm going to try not to just go super Irish here. Damn it, I'm going to do it anyway. O'Malley. And Decker. Those guys sound like pricks, right? And then the lawyer. I don't want to be super stereotypical here. Let's call him Donnie. Let's see, Donnie. So he's Polish. Dukowski. Donnie Dukowski. That doesn't really sound like a lawyer name, but that's a pretty cool name. We'll come back to that. So now that we have some names here, I could... Oh, and the judge. Fuck, I can't remember what the judge's name was. And I don't even know where to start looking for that. Okay, so we'll do that a different time. Okay, so now we got names for our characters. The first act here, we pretty much got a ton of shit. And what I think I'm going to start doing is making new folders for the different acts. To Act 3. Now, some of you might be wondering if I always outline. And the answer is no. And it really depends on which pen name I'm writing, because when I'm doing like a mystery and trying to like put pieces together, I have to outline, because I have to have the clues dropped at the right times, the red herrings at the right times. It's just, it's like a patchwork kind of thing. The second thing is when I'm writing Kurt Jakowski stuff, like Panic and some of the stuff that's in like the Unsane Sam and all that shit, I don't outline those at all. That's just like free form random thoughts tried to be put into a story. Like, it's like I'm finding out the story just as you're reading it, and it's like kind of like, oh. So that's just like a fun way to write, and that's kind of why that's like a completely different um, name. But so what I want to do here now is start putting these things in here. So we have our acts separated. Newspaper guy, that's going to go there. Bookie goes there. Club, the second time, goes there. New secretary. Bridge. Hooking up with the sister. That really should be later. No. Okay, cops show up and tell him to lay off the case. Sister's murder. Sapped in the office. Wakes up and finds that he's fucked. Okay, so how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so this should be roughly 14,000 words right here. So that's okay. And then with Act 2, we go, let me just do it like this. And I'll also put right here that when he's released, or actually I might just put it on the release. What do I do here? We'll put it here. So after his release, he gets another visit from the Kappas. From the Kappas! Okay. And then all of these guys will also be in there. Okay, so my first bit of this story is very kaboom. Now in here we have the city jail cell. Let's say he finally gets a call. Did I put that he didn't get a call yet? Okay. So he gets a call. He gets to call the lawyer guy. Call the lawyer guy. Goes through booking. Goes to the caves, which is like a medium security kind of thing. And then after this, we'll put meeting with lawyer. Okay. So that's going to happen. Then he has to go back to the caves. Maybe he kills someone in jail. Or just hurts him really good. So that'll happen. So that'll be how he gets put into solitary. And then he has an arraignment. And this is what I was thinking about. If they revoke his PI card and his gun card, then he's kind of fucked. And it would probably be hard to get it back. So what I'm thinking is they give him a ultimatum. Close enough. Which is 6 months in the joint or give up his shit. And so obviously all the cops and everyone's hoping he's just going to say, yeah, I'll give up my shit and not be a PI anymore, blah, 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 blah. And then he sticks it to him and goes, I'll take your 6 months, you fucking pricks. And all that shit. So that'll be fun. And then in the bus trip to court, I want to have the guards fuck him up a little bit. He'll be cuffed to another dude. Boom. Okay. Goes to Gen Pop. And then maybe in Gen Pop he runs into some guys that he put away. He gets jumped and has to fend them off. Bunch of action. And then 6 months is over. So this will probably fill out a little bit as I come up with more stuff. So then it'll be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we're at least at 25,000 words here. And then we have all of this shit. So the third act is still kind of up in the air with me. I might come back to it later today, and or that'll be what I do tomorrow. I gotta let it roll around in my head a bit. I need to make Act 2 bigger, so I'll definitely have some more stuff in there. Now it's like one of the things like you automatically go to when you think of like fucked up jail scenes and prison shit is like getting raped. But I cannot see anyone trying to rape Hank. He's huge and would like kill him in a second. But maybe that'll be the fun of it. So let's just really make it gritty. Alright, so I have no idea how long this is. So until next time, everybody, which will be either later today or tomorrow, thanks for spending another day with me coming up with how to write a book.